Microphone works. Good evening, Ms. Siddiqui and members of the board. Our daughter she matriculated to Glenwood Middle in 2014. In her first year at the school, she suffered with recurring sinus infections, which caused her to miss school on a relatively regular basis. In her absence notes we sent to the office, we cited these sinus infections as a cause for her absences. In May 2015, after another absence from school due to a sinus infection, when my wife called Glenwood Middle to speak with Ms. Reinhardt, the guidance secretary, about picking up makeup work for our daughter, she was transferred to Mrs. Brandt, the guidance counselor. Mrs. Brandt asked my wife whether or not any factors at home were contributing to the absences. We assumed that this was because Ms. Brandt and Glenwood Middle were following the proper protocol in regards to days of school missed during the 2014-2015 school year. To that point, our daughter's health problems at Glenwood were not only sinus infections. Our daughter also experienced 2 incidents which were described by her as severe dizziness with trouble breathing. She was lightheaded and disoriented. The first time this happened, I was able to come to school and speak with her and the nurse. The school nurse pointed to possible dehydration as the cause of this problem. The second time she experienced the dizziness, she was unable to walk or stand on her own and was transported to Howard County Hospital via ambulance. Once at Howard County Hospital, the staff could find nothing wrong. We know at this time our daughter is allergic to 2 types of mold through testing by her allergist. We also know that dizziness and fainting spells are signs that a person is having a reaction to toxic mold. In fact, it is well known that dizziness and faint spells are commonly cited in sick building cases in regards to mold infestation. Glenwood Middle, its staff, or HCPSS, never informed us that mold had been discovered in the school, abatement work had to be completed, and air quality been tested and was continually being monitored. Notifying building occupants of the presence of mold in a building is something that by federal and state regulations is required. We only learned this information on the last day of school when a member of the faculty made our daughter aware that mold had been discovered in the school and there were ongoing issues with air quality inside the building. When our daughter was told this, she recalled the presence of portable dehumidifiers in some of her classrooms during the school year, and that a person who worked one-on-one with a fellow student was unable to enter a certain classroom because the air quality inside the classroom affected her ability to breathe. Since this time, we have learned of the scope and magnitude of the problem and are very concerned about the lack of candor, transparency, and communication from Glenwood Middle and HCPSS. We feel that in this situation, they put the care and health of students as well as staff last. There is also a lack of complete accountability for the lack of communication that federal and state law required to be sent to occupants of the building, whether or not they were affected by mold and poor air quality inside the building. I feel that we parents had to act in place of the school board and the superintendent to create transparency, prying information piece by piece and fragment by fragment from an organization that should have been willingly provided this information to us at the beginning. Information that in our case could have prevented pain and suffering experienced by our daughter and resulted in diminished classroom time and financial expense on our part for doctor's visits, not to mention an ambulance ride to the hospital.
Mr. Vona, can you wrap up?
Yes, last paragraph. We intend to allow our daughter to begin the 2015 school year at Glenwood Middle School. However, if the sinus infections start up again after a summer without any sinus infections, we intend to request our daughter be allowed to transfer from Glenwood Middle to another Howard County Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have no one else signed up for public forum. Would anyone else like to approach the board? Ms. Isaacs.